um, seeing the person from their behavior, their body lingo. So same kind of thing we do in forces also, because we interact with a lot of manpower coming from nooks and corners of the country, and they have got different religious affinity, different geographical things around, and also the atmosphere in which, the ambience in which they are brought up. So their education status, their financial status, a lot of things.
I welcome you, Mr. Rajesh, to our show Non-Verbal Champions, and it's an immense pleasure to have you here. Also, our audience would really be intrigued to have such an eminent personality on our show. So, why don't you tell something about yourself? Like, what do you like, what do you not like, and something about your professional career?
Jain Nafisa, thanks to you, and you know, I would be better holding a gun than to be holding a mic to tell something about me. Uh, yes, it's a pleasure to be interacting with you guys, and it is really an honor. You guys have given a platform where we are, um, and a combatant sitting in front of you and speaking something about him and about his profession and about various things. I wanted from the childhood only to wear a uniform, and it was my dream. And with a lot of persuasion and hard work and perseverance, I showed, and I could make it. And now, when I have put in 20-21 years of service, and it seems that whatever I have chosen, I had chosen. I'm living my dreams, and it is such a wonderful feeling that I have interacted with uh, people from nooks and corners of the country with lot of varieties, lot of really different religious affinities, different persona, different way of thinking, and different way of bringing up. So in a way, I can take that credit and say in front of you that almost I know the most of the types of Indians in of the forces. So it is a pride and a pleasure, and it is always a thing to be considered as a fortunate that yes, I am doing my bit.
Would you like to tell about some of your highlights of your professional career?
Well, ours is a job of motivating the troops to be doing their best as far as professional things are concerned. One, and second, in case of emergency, to make supreme sacrifice. That means in certain situations they have to take brunt on them, face the enemy right at border, and they do their best, and they don't care even if they have to sacrifice their lives for the nation. So that is what we try to uh, institute in them, that countries come the first, then comes your the buddy, and then comes your own comforts at the last. And whenever there was an emergency, there was any contingency, so we have performed in and outs, day in and day out. And I think we as a human being, and we as a commander also, we are taking care of our boys, and they are doing excellent job. So as a commander, you have to look at your under command troops, and try to find out if you are giving some orders, so how they are taking your order, as are they taking the true spirits, are they willing to do, or is there any hitch about the orders what you have given. So a lot of things.
Okay. Um, One of the thing which even I am very intrigued about, what made you choose this as your career, like your profession?
uh, I think this being a combatant is in my blood. I'm third in my generation who has joined this novel profession, and I think uh, I'm blessed with my with two sons, and what I see their traits. So at least one of them will also be joining these forces. So it's in my blood, and I think we know this profession well, and I think whatever capabilities and efficiencies God has blessed, I think we can do justice with this profession, and we are proud to say that we have joined Indian Armed Forces. Uh, that's it.
Amazing. Wow. How useful is the knowledge of body language when it comes to communication for you?
I think body language lingo is the most important thing. I would say you can be very literate. I would say might have a lot of degrees around you. You may have a lot of feathers of various appointments, but until and unless you don't understand the human psyche and how he behaves in different conditions, I think um, I don't consider you be a educated person, and especially for the persons in forces who is commanding and who is holding an appointment where you are the decision maker, and you have to decide about the various course of action which may lead to I would say making supreme sacrifices. There you have to know the body language of your troops.
So
We are
that
all human beings.
that being
We are all
said, when
human
you
beings.
say that body language of the troops, you need to understand, how they are communicating. So could there be any examples which you would want to share with us on how it has helped you in some or the other way?
Lot of examples every day we go through such lot of examples. If somebody comes to me and he says he wants to proceed on leave, but the condition is that I can't send him on leave, so I say no to him, but he accepts it with a smile that now my commander hasn't sent me on leave, and it's been 6 months now. I have not been able to see my kids and my wife and my parents, so I can see his face, how he reacts. He is smiling, but in heart of heart, he knows you know, uh, he feels the pain. He feels a pinch. So I understand. Many a times, we have to take a lot of decisions which involves, human psyche and how they behave. So I mean to say ki the body language plays a great role. If I'm giving some order and I know my boys are not ready, so or not understanding the consequences of the order, or maybe not understanding the gravity of that, so I have to tell them in a way in which they can understand the gravity, the urgency, and why that order is being given, why that direction is being given. So we make them realize that importance, urgency, and when we feel that they have understood with from their body lingo, then we say we consider that now this guy will be able to execute whatever I have perceived or whatever I have decided or directed or given an order. So body lingo plays a great role, I must say. If somebody comes and look at me, and if I find something that his face is saying, yeah, his eyes are saying, so I understand there is something wrong with my uniform, with other things. So I check it, and I always find that uh, something is wrong. So body lingo plays a great role. I would say it's the crux, a pivot of all forces.
Simply Body Talk undertakes comprehensive training for teams that needs to read the human behavior very minutely and quickly, like the threat assessment training, advanced body language training, and so on. Okay. Is there any difference in you while you are communicating with your team members versus your family members or other people?
Uh, it's very difficult questions. So because my family can tell me, sometimes I had a very good friend of mine. So we used to stay in a village, and his father was also in forces. So whenever he used to come to, his father used to come to village for leave and all, he used to run away to his nana's place. बोला कि वो he has Fauji has come, my father has come, he's a Fauji. Now he is going to make me discipline, so I am running away. So in a way, yes, profession comes into your routine life also, and basically, no, it's not a profession only. It's your life, and I think for the last 21 years, I started wearing a uniform. I think uh, my whole persona and my whole psyche has changed. And not only me, even my wife and my kids are also, if you talk to them, you'll also find some kind of combatants in them, and they will also be behaving in the same manner. You can find out if this guy is standing here, iski wife kaun hogi. So his kids, they are wearing their haircuts and their way of dressing. That will be, since I am the senior most member in the family, in my family, so they all will be looking at me, and maybe my kids may be some kind of trying to imitate me. Yes, Forge is also coming to home also.
So, just thing which I would also want to share from my end. There's I guess an army officer who stays right besides our house, and whenever he used to come, his tone would always be interrogative. Always asking question, and it would be like one-on-one question, where either I am saying yes or no, and I used to be like, oh my god, how do I answer this man? How do I tell anything or something to him? And then, when I grew up, I came to realization that maybe this kind of profession which he is doing, that, he wants to interact with me. And that is how he is doing it, by asking me some kind of questions, or like, how's my life and where am I working and stuff. So yeah, I totally believe that yes, profession is somewhere, it's there. Like, it's amazing. It can be seen.
Look, when I'm a team, when I join my team, or for that matter, if a young boy, young man joins forces, he's around 21 to 22, 23. So he joins as an officer, and then he is commanding a troop of 37, 38, 40, 45. And an officer is considered to be a fatherly figure in the team.
Okay.
So everybody looking at him, it's a fatherly figure because he's a decision maker. Now, at age of 22, if he is being seen as a fatherly figure in the team, in the company, in the various organizations, a man of 45, 46 years, he looks at him, and he thinks that he is going to make decision. What is leader? Leader is a hope. It's a hope. Your boys are looking at you as a hope. If they are in difficult situation, they look at you as a hope. Look, this guy is going to take me away, take me out from this situation, difficult situation. So he is blindly deposing faith in me, the way I used to depose faith in my father, the way you are deposing your faith in your parents. When something bad will happen to you, you will be in some kind of circumstances which you are not going to face it. So you'll be looking at your parents will be in front of you, helping you, shouldering the responsibility. When I was my kid, my father used to throw me in the air, and I was used to laugh like at anything. I knew my father is going to catch me.
Yeah.
So that kind of feeling when you have in at the age of 21, 22, so he's already matured, he's already a papa, he's already a father. So now, whatever you are telling, that the person who was residing, who is residing in your neighborhood, naturally you will find traits and body lingo. In a way, he's very interrogative. He is not considering you as an Afisa girl of 21, 22. He's considering you as your kid, as his kid.
Yeah.
So in a way, these things come into the profession. Because there are a lot of organization where you are scolding and telling a man of 45, 46 years, okay, mend your ways, and you are just 22, 23. So a lot of responsibilities on shoulders. I mean to say, a leader, military leader, is a ray of hope, nothing more than that. If your boys have deposited faith in you, you are a successful leader. Otherwise, you are a failure. And for us, the faith of our boys is paramount important, and nothing more or less than that. If my boy thinks I can't do justice with the things I've been assigned, he'll not die for me. He'll die. He'll make supreme sacrifice only when he knows this guy is making me, will make me better. This guy is going to take me out of these circumstances. This guy is taking out of this contingency, and this way he's very relaxed. Whatever decision he's making, it is for the benefits of his, and it is into the right direction.
Okay, and I guess our audience would also want to know, you people, your team, you all are great at reading people also when they are behind the mask, right? Because when you are on the field, you have it on all the time. So could you give us some tips on how do you understand each other even while you all are wearing masks?
Well, when you stay with a person 10 months in a year, you're already married to him.
Okay.
So I mean to say, if I'm going for the 2 months to my place and I'm married to my wife, the same way I'm married up to my boys, I think I know their homes, their families, their parents, the situation in which they are going through. So we interact every day in such a manner that we know each other in and out. We know at what moment of time this guy is going to break and how I have to hold it. So yes, we have a lot of interactions with each other, and yes, when he's away, we know we do SWOT analysis. What are his strength, weakness? How can he utilize the opportunities? What are the which are the threats? We have to be a bit alert about this person. Not in that sense. Basically, it's we have a different limits of emotional questions. Many of our guys are very emotional. Some are, you don't find any kind of emotional feeling on their faces. So we keep on learning about them, how they perform. We keep looking at them, from morning to the evening. And you can befool a person at a time, but you can't befool a person every time. For the 10 months he is staying with you, I can't befool my troops, neither nor can they. So we know each other. They know me in and out, how this person is going to react in this situation. So yes, we keep on backing each other, and this is
You
how we
cannot be non-expressive towards each other. You actually know what's going on inside the head, even if you think you have no expressions on your face.
yes, there is a lot of emotional outburst inside, and many a times outside also. So we control each other. If I can say 10 things to you, so you have a right to say at least once to me also. So as a leader, I have to accept that one thing also, and it's good. It's two-way communication, two-way traffic. As long as you guys are making a good team, doing the assigned duty in best of the way, best of the capabilities, I think you have done your job. And at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We must be helping each other, and we have to be human in nature also, human to each other. And they come with lot of problems and discuss with each other. And they come with family problems, problem of parents, not cohesiveness between their wives and their parents, a lot of things. So we try to help them out because we also go through the same situation. So in a way, we are helping each other. And moreover, society is keep on changing. A boy at the age of 18 comes to the forces, and when he goes back after retirement about 40 years, so a lot of things have changed. He's married with kids. His parents have grown old. Brother and sisters who are staying in at his native places, their behavior is changed. Society is changed because generally what happens, if you stay at 10 months in your with your buddies, you hardly have social interaction. So a lot of things. Families are becoming nuclear. So a lot of things happening to them. So a lot of changes. So we try to keep them aware, update about the outer world. Yes, but ठीक है, it's okay, part of life.
When you speak about them, your face shows that you know how much you are connected to them, and it's great. Salute to all of you. Any last message which you would want to give to our audience?
I think live in present. Don't think much about future. Whatever has happened in past has gone. Enjoy your present and have faith in you. At the same time, have faith in your buddies, your friends, your parents. If you are good, nobody is going to let you down. If you are bad, nobody is going to help you. So it's you. You create an aura, a persona around you. Whatever way the people are treating you, it's you. It's because of you. Nobody else. If you are good, you will get good vibes around you. Wives, not wives. Good vibes around you. So if you are a bit on the other side, people will not be good to you. So it's better to live in present. Do whatever you are being given, tasks, duties, whatever, in the best of your capabilities. I think you are doing justice with whatever you are being blessed. And please keep exploring yourself. Human efficiency is par, and whatever you're performing is just nothing. Not even 3% of whatever you are capable, what are you are being blessed. So keep exploring yourself, especially physical part. A man or woman or girl or boy can do laurels. Keep exploring yourself, keep testing yourself, keep challenging yourself, and live in present. The main thing is live in present. जो है अभी है, जो करना है अभी करना है, कल का वेट नहीं करना है, जो हो गया उस पर सोचना नहीं. That's all.
Thank you so much. I guess we stay in this country without, you know, any problem being faced. It's because of you all, you know. We can just walk on the roads as we want to. We can just do whatever. I guess we do not understand the intensity of the situation, what could be at the borders because we are not there. But salute to all of you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the time for being on the show. It is so amazing to interview you. Like in the morning since I woke up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to interview Mr. Rajesh, and you know I'm preparing, and I'm like, oh my god, you know I have such an eminent personality today, you know, on my show. It's amazing. Thank you so much. You're truly a non-verbal champion. Thank you so much for your time.